everybody. This is Starla.
This is Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games.
And today we're going to do a nod to Black History Month. And we're going to talk about African Americans in the gaming hobby and some of the things they can do in the hobby and some of the things that we should be doing in the hobby.
Or the lack thereof.
Lack thereof. Yeah, so we decided to start this YouTube channel just because of the lack of color in the gaming hobby.
Or people that look like us.
Exactly. Because a lot of times, you know, we're on YouTube, we're looking at playthroughs or, you know, watch it played or, you know, people discussing board gaming, and we never see people like us. Now, there are a few people out there, such as
Mandi from the Dice Tower and Jeremy from Man vs. Meeple.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're able to name them on one hand. We decided to throw our hat in the ring so that there's another voice out there that gives you a different perspective from our perspective, because we would like to hear what people like us, people who look like us, have to say on games. So since they weren't there, now they are.
Us, hey.
So, but that's pretty much why we're here, and just the fact that the board gaming is something that everybody can enjoy. Yeah. And it really doesn't matter what your background is, what your race or your culture is. Everybody can enjoy it. And we just feel that it's kind of sad that there are not more people of color, be it African American or Hispanic or Asian cultures involved in board gaming. Because when we go to cons or when we go to gaming groups or gaming days, we just don't see us. We just don't. And we're, you know, we're in a room with 1,000 people, and you can count on 2 hands how many people of color are in that room.
Because we're looking around. we're looking around.
So, and I mean, that's something we've mentioned before. Yeah. And I guess that's why it's such a passion for us to be here, to represent, you know, they say we're going to represent for, you know, the people of color and the families of color who should be in this hobby, right? Yeah,
very right, very right. So I know that we want to talk about a few things that, you know, we feel that is resonating in the board game hobby now. Right. And that's one, games that kind of appeal to African Americans, or people of color, or African Americans. So you got a list there.
Yeah. So in our experience, we've actually helped put together a couple of cons when we were living in Houston. Yeah. And we did cons at this church called Windsor Village. It's a large United Methodist church that has a large African American membership. So we did a couple of cons there, and we found that there are a few games that people
Shout out to Pastor Kim.
Oh, hey, Pastor Kim. Yeah. We found there are a few games that people of color really resonated to, so that they really gravitated towards. And the first one being Splendor. And I think, and I was telling my husband, I think the reason people like Splendor is because it has components that we're already familiar with. You know, people of color that we know of, we like to play cards, we like to play dominoes, we like to play checkers. But Splendor has those components. It has cards, and then it has the little gems that are really poker chips. So those are things that people take to really well. And it was something that you could put on the table and say, oh, okay, I got this. This is not so scary because I'm familiar with that. Then the next one that we realized that people of color really like, which everybody likes, doesn't matter. And that's, of course, Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride.
Everybody loves that game. I mean, it's easy to play. The rules are easy to comprehend. The gameplay is simple,
yes, it is,
but fun. Because, I mean, who hasn't had a ticket to something? I mean, a ticket to a train, ticket to a plane. You know, we've all had tickets to a theater. So it's just something that you can say, oh, okay, Ticket to Ride. Okay, I got that. Because some of these games in the hobby, I mean, they're a little abstract. They're fantasy. They're a stretch of people to kind of, you know, wrap their thought process around. But when you play these other games, it's like, oh, okay, that's really easy to understand. Then another one that was really a shocker to me, I didn't know that this was going to be such a hit, but every time we've done a gaming day, this game is a big hit, and it is Codenames.
Codenames.
Who knew? But Codenames it's a hit. I love Codenames, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't think we had these really older ladies. I mean, we're talking about maybe 60s and 70s. And they were playing Codenames, just one game after the other. They were just enthralled with Codenames. And we found out that whether you're 60 or 70, or whether you're in your 20s, we actually did another gaming day with another church, and we had these guys and ladies and guys that were in their 20s.
They
wanted to
loved
play Codenames over, and we actually played like 11 rounds
over and
of
over
Codenames just because it was so popular. So that's another good game.
And don't worry, we're going to try Just One. Everybody says, hey, try Just One. We're going to try that out too.
Yeah, but Codenames is really popular. So that's 3. Another one that we found people like. I only had one person that said they really didn't like it, but I never did understand why. But that's Downforce. Downforce. It's a racing game. You got cars. You know, you've got cars and cards. So you've got both of those things, and it's always seemed to be a big hit. Yeah. And then last but not least, something that people like because it's fun, and that is Survive. Survive is an older game, but people like it. It's fun. You know, you get to throw people in the water, and the sharks
people
get
chewed up,
and people like to laugh about it. So those are some games that if you're trying to get people of color involved in your gaming day, those are the 5 I would recommend to start with to see if those games would resonate and be something that people really like to play.
And I want to throw 2 more in there that for me is Century Spice Road.
Century Spice Road. A
lot of people like that. We did like a little game night, and some people of color, you know, they like that. And also Point Salad.
Oh yeah, Point Salad's a good one too. That's a new one. Point Salad's pretty new.
That's a new one.
Yeah, Century. Yeah, those are good ones too.
Yeah. Now on my end, I wanted to spotlight some of the Black board game designers out there. Yes, it's not that many. It's not that many. And usually they kind of throw up one name in particular all the time, and that's Eric Lane, the great designer that he is, and he made Blood Rage and Rising Sun and a whole many more that are really good. But he's not the only one out there. We have one person named Marcus, Mark Corsey, who made the Game of 49. And we have that in our collection, and we really like that one. Then another young designer who's coming up named Omari Akil. Omari Akil. Sorry about that, Omar. He just came out with a successful Kickstarter, and the game's out there called Rap Gods, and that's pretty cool. Celebrating that side of urban life in the African American, diaspora. Yes. And then we have one guy that's going to be on here soon. He's a local designer in Omaha, and that's Marcus Ross.
Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus. And he made Discount Salmon and Bees, and also Let Her Go. So those are 4 that we know of that's out there that's really doing a real good job. And I just want to say, if there's other designers of color out there, especially African American, hey, make the games. Get out there, make the games, put it out there. Hey, I really want to see them. I want to play them. And I know a whole lot of other people want to do that too.
Yeah, and just be versatile with the games. Every game out there doesn't have to be a history lesson. No. It's just people just want to have fun. They want to escape. They want to laugh. So that's what people are looking for. And that goes into the whole history lesson thing, the game that we're not so fond of. Now, I have to tell you, I have not played this game, but just the premise alone is enough for me not to play this game.
It's not in the collection.
And that's Freedom, the Underground Railroad. Yeah. Now, I've talked to people about it, and they say, oh, we like it because you learn things.
That's fine.
It tells you history about slavery.
That's fine.
But personally, I cannot play
a little painful
with slavery. I can't play with it. And I don't know. People who can, do that, that's fine. If you can, put those 2 things in your mind and try to make slavery a game per se, but it just was a very painful part of our past, and it's not a game. It's not a game to play with. That's just like saying we're gonna do the Holocaust. We're not gonna do that as a game.
You don't play with that.
You don't want to play with that. I mean, that's painful for people, Jewish people. So we don't want to do that. Yeah. But again, that is out there. That's not a game that we'll ever have in our collection.
And if you're using it to educate or see how bad things were, hey,
more power to you.
But it's not for us. It's not for us. Now, another aspect of the board gaming and African American, people of color is characters that look like us in games.
Yes.
We're having some little issues with that. Yes. But there's some games that really do it well, and I want to spotlight a few of them. And that's Ryan Laukat from Red Raven Games and his world of Arzium. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Arzium. Yeah.
Arzium.
Arzium. And that world includes Above and Below, Outbound,
yes,
Near and Far, Rome, and City of Iron. And I have to tell you, Ryan did a great job because aside from the fantasy characters he have in there, it's just so diverse. The world is so diverse with so many people of color in there.
And women.
Yeah,
there are women characters.
I mean, older people. They have older people,
young
people, people of color. I mean, Ryan did a great job.
Really nice.
I salute you. That was a great thing. I mean, it just you can really get into it because it really feels like a real world.
Yeah, you feel welcome when you see yourself represented.
Yes.
And that's something that we would like to be represented just like other people are represented. And we feel welcome.
He did a great job. He did a great job. Another one is by Plaid Hat Games, and that's Dead of Winter. You know, even though the zombies are coming at you and you got a traitor in your midst, you have a diverse group that are in trouble. Yeah. And it's a lot of people of color in that game. And I have to salute, Plaid Hat Games for that too. Yeah. And then the last one that I want to salute is Western Legends. You know, in some of these games, you're fighting over that one black character and you're like, I want to be that. But also in Western Legends, they have a few black characters in there that you can say, hey, I want to be that person, I want to be that person. And what's so cool about it, they give the history of those characters, that what they did in the West. And I really wow, that's really cool. And I have to tip my hat off to those guys too at Colossal Games, because that was really cool too.
And we're not saying that there aren't other games that will have one or two characters of color. There are a lot of games out there. And again, this hobby is so big. We only have a percentage of games. I mean, there's so many coming out every year. But what we're saying is that the ones that Mick just mentioned really went out of their way. They went above and beyond to make sure everybody was represented. And that's something we really appreciate.
Now, we know that, hey, like with Architects of the Western Kingdom, we're not there. We got that. We know some of those histories, we're not there. But the ones that we could be there, or you could, fantasy and things like that, science fiction, put us in there. Yeah. Put us in there. So that's what we really want.
So again, this is just our little nod to Black History Month and just our perspective on some of the games that are out there and the role that we're playing in the gaming hobby. And I just want to share that with everyone. And if you have any comments or any things you'd like to add, please feel free to, drop us a line, leave a comment on YouTube or go to our Facebook page, to Our Family Plays Games. And don't forget, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah. Because we'd love to have you follow what we have to say and what we're going to show you as the weeks go by. So yeah, please do that.
And tell us what you feel about, diversity, inclusion into this hobby. Let us know what you feel about that. Tell us what you think that can be done, should be done, and maybe will be done one day. Yeah. So let us know about that. And also hit that little bell so you can be notified that when we do a new video. And also, like my wife said, like and share. Get us out there. Yeah. We want to be out there because we want to spread the word and say, hey, this hobby is for everybody.
It is.
And we are having a ball and having fun with it.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
So, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Hope you do something wonderful this month. And that's all we have for you right now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye, everybody.